Good afternoon. I am Dom.
I am Jamie.
And back on schedule. We are here. Welcome to the cutting room floor. Like and subscribe. Share with your peoples who like this movie, because I have actually met quite a few people who said this is their favorite movie.
Really?
You know, people from Gen Xers.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, hey.
It's an incredible film.
People love it. You know, it's a pretty good film. I have my issues with it, but it was good.
But think about, like, okay, 1989.
For when it came out, though. That sounds like for when it came out.
And it came out summer of 89. It was battling Ghostbusters 2, Tim Burton's Batman, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Still made a decent little box office.
Oh, yeah, it did. But I'm just saying, like,
it was a summer to be at the fucking movies.
Yeah, it was.
I've been so movies every week that summer for sure.
RoboCop 2, RoboCop 2 came out in 90. I'm sorry, it was next year.
Yeah, next year.
But still, like, you know, like, wow. And Frank Miller wrote RoboCop 2, just a quick aside.
Frank Mills, my man's, bro. You know, like Frank Mills, he's the man.
Yeah, he wrote 2 and 3, I believe. So
he's got to be one of the best writers.
Honestly, he was. And I think after The Dark Knight Returns came out, Hollywood tapped him for, like, more stuff. Because they were dry. Like, yeah.
I mean, they really were.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, look, from what, like, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah. Like with Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's what, like, Sin City and stuff. In, like, early 2s for, like, and then 10 years up.
Yeah, because then he did The Spirit himself. Mm-hmm. He directed that and wrote it himself, but also with Zack Snyder doing 300.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
For about a good 10 years, they were sucking this man dry. He's like, I just want to write comic books.
Yeah.
But whatever. But anyways, this film has nothing to do with fucking comic books.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Nothing to do with Frank Mills at all. Even though he probably likes this film.
Yeah, he might. I mean, it takes place in New York.
Yeah.
And I guess the Hamptons.
Yeah, I mean, even though probably not a side of New York he goes to a lot.
It was filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina.
I was like, it didn't look New York-y.
No.
But it was beautiful.
It was. You're talking about the women.
Yeah, the women were looking right. They did a good job.
And right now, they're in your perfect.
They're my age.
Yeah, because
they were like
Catherine Mary Stewart's like 66.
Yeah, she looks decent still.
Yeah,
she was fine in that movie, bro. She was fine in Night of the Comet too.
Which I do have to watch.
Should we just do that next week, bro? Is there anything coming up?
Okay, now
it's July.
Now next week, on Thursday, did you want to go see, if we can, an early show of Superman and then just do that?
Might be able to do that now.
Okay, yeah.
I might be able to do that now. I will let you know.
Yeah, let me know. If not, we'll do Night of the Comet.
Okay.
But if we can, we'll do Superman and then
that would be dope. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, Superman. Yeah, I was looking at the trailer.
Yeah. Oh, you actually watched the trailer?
Yeah, I did watch the trailer.
Okay, so really quick. The way that Superman, David Cornsweet, local boy, Philly.
Okay.
Philly born and bred, still lives in Philly.
I don't know if I'm going to like him.
Okay, but I think I will, because there's a scene I saw.
You're going to like him.
I forget which scene it was. It might have been, there's a scene where I guess he goes to Lex's office because Crypto is missing, his dog.
Uh-huh.
He's like, where's the dog? His acting reminds me of like Mummy era Brendan Fraser. And there was a time.
I feel like he ain't gonna be as good.
Well, there's a time when Brendan Fraser was like trying to be Superman, and I mean, like, they were gonna make him, before Superman Returns.
He would have been a good Superman.
He would have been incredible. So if David Cornsweet encompasses even a little bit of like Brendan Fraser's charisma from like 25 years ago, I think he's going to do a great job.
That's a hell of a last name, huh? Cornsweet?
Yeah.
Man, that sounds like, I don't even know.
Dude's been acting since he was like 9.
That's crazy.
And he's like
Never
31.
Seen him.
Well, it's mostly theater stuff.
Oh, okay.
And he did some TV stuff on Netflix with some Ryan Murphy produced stuff. I think The Politician was his first one. Because I just watched an interview. Ben Mankiewicz from Turner Classic interviewed him on like CBS Sunday Morning, and they put it online, the extended interview. And I really love this dude now, because he said after that first series, because he was a series regular, he got paid enough between jobs that he could live with his dad full time for 6 months and take care of him until he died.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
That's
so
really cool.
so he knows what it's like to be a caregiver.
Yeah, he does. That's cool.
And
I mean,
it's
I
like-
respect that.
Yeah, I do
That
too.
ain't gonna change whether
Oh, no,
like
no.
this motherfucker's performance.
Yeah, but but also James Gunn's directing.
James Gunn is director. That
Yeah.
don't mean he ain't gonna suck.
But look, Nicholas Hoult is Lex
Nicholas
Luthor.
Hoult looks like he's gonna be great.
Yeah, yeah.
He's incredible.
And the thing is, Nicholas Hoult could have been a great Superman because he does have a good look,
frail though.
but he could have beefed up. That's the thing.
He just his face looks skinny. He just looks like he'd be a skinny guy.
Yeah, but if he would have gotten Superman, he would have bulked up.
I would have took Jacob Elordi.
He might have been too young because he only just turned 28.
Yeah, he's young.
Because David Cornsweet's like early 30s.
But he looks older.
I think, because he was, I think, up for the role.
He would have been good.
I believe. But in my mind, there's something with his eyebrows. I know that sounds
You
terrible.
can wax him.
I know, but why would you want to do that?
We gotta.
And I hate to be that superficial. But then again, he's like super tall too, right?
He is like 6'3" or 4.
Yeah, so like it's almost like how could you not tell
Superman's got to be a big motherfucker.
No, but I mean like Clark. I wonder why you and Superman are never in the same room at the same time. You both take up the same volume of space.
How tall is Clark Kent?
Well, Clark Kent, it depends because
what's the average Clark Kent height?
You know what? I would say probably
he's 6'3" or 4, dude. That's what I'm saying. That's what he's got to be like 6'3" or 4.
I gotta show you something if it's here.
So I mean,
I know it's here, but I gotta find it.
Yeah, you pull that out. But anyways, the film we're doing.
Well,
I don't know how we. I'm like, I don't know how.
So we're talking about next week.
Yeah. How do we fucking? Oh, we're talking about Night of the Comet because of when.
Yeah.
So what the film we're doing today, guys?
Weekend at Bernie's.
1989. Who directed this?
Ted Kotcheff.
Ted Kotcheff.
He played Richard's dad.
Oh, okay.
He's the director.
Okay, he's the guy.
How about I lay you out?
Yeah. That was funny.
That's all I remember.
Navy suit.
Yeah, lay out my blue suit for the morning. How about I lay you
butler. I'd be like, yo, my uncle's staying with me for a minute.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said.
Yeah. Because my aunt just died.
Yeah,
She's very
exactly.
sick.
I'd be like, Uncle Dad, just, go to bed.
My aunt is very sick.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy.
Do you know what else Ted Kotcheff directed?
No.
The Sylvester Stallone adaptation of Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, known as First Blood.
Oh, he directed First Blood.
He did.
First Blood
He did.
is, oh my Lord. First Blood, this guy. First Blood is incredible. I do love First Blood.
Yeah, he directed First Blood.
First Blood is great.
He died, I believe it was earlier this year or late last year. I forget. Because I think I remember texting you about it. Because I was like, hey, Ted Kotcheff died.
R.I.P. feller.
But he, I believe, was a producer and maybe even a director when Law & Order SVU started.
Oh, Law and Order boy.
Yeah, and for once I didn't say Law & Order SUV, which is incredible.
Yeah, I bet it is.
That's what they arrest you in.
That is what they arrest you in. Shit.
It's cramped back there.
Yeah, it's better than a fucking cruiser.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That's true.
All right, let's get some stats out. You're not going to like this one. Rotten Tomatoes, 54.
Really?
Yeah, not even fresh. They gave it a green splat.
So what does that even mean? A green splat? It's like, did Shrek jizz because he was so excited that he loved the movie? Is that what that is?
No, it means the tomatoes rotten.
Oh, okay. But they have green tomatoes, so that might not be rotten.
Yeah, but like, what do you want fried green tomatoes? Was that Mary Louise Parker?
Yeah, I mean, or Kathy Bates in Saran Wrap or whatever, right?
Oh, God. I mean,
hey,
she's aging well, though.
Did you see About Schmidt?
Yes. I was not expecting to see Kathy Bates in a hot tub.
They're doing the full Monty.
Yeah. Even Jack didn't want to see that shit, bro. He was like, yep, let me get up on out of here. Yeah, that's a great film. Who's that, Alex Payne?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a goat. Anywho, Rotten Tomatoes 54, IMDb 6.4. That's about where I would expect it.
Yeah.
Letterboxd 3.2, so not too bad. It's also about where I would expect it. So I think we're about on schedule with the scores. I would possibly think in this day and age, though, would have had a little bit higher score on Rotten Tomatoes, but that's okay. All right, Jameson, why don't you go ahead? Tell us about this film. This is your sauce here.
I know. I've loved this movie for 36 years.
That's a good amount of time.
And now I know when this releases, it'll be the first week of July, but today is July 2nd?
Yeah.
So in 3 days, it'll be the 36th anniversary of this movie coming out. It came out July 5th, 89.
Insane.
So this film, it's like an end cap to the 80s.
A little bit.
If you think about it.
It feels more 80s. It feels like it came out in like 85 or 6, though.
Yeah, it kind of does.
When I saw it was 89, I was like, shit, I thought it was be a little older.
Well, it's sort of like, I don't even mean this to be funny, but it's like a death to all of that kind of,
yuppie culture.
Yeah, like the Wall Street, Gordon Gekko kind of stuff. And you're right, because it kind of reminds you of, there was that film with like Rob Morrow and Johnny Depp, where they were like working at a resort over the summer from like 84, 85.
Is it good?
I don't know. It might be called Summer Resort, to be honest with you, because they like dental school.
Yeah.
They didn't really have too many like creative names. But yeah, that's kind of, because this is essentially like we'll call it a buddy comedy, because it's like two friends who find themselves in a crazy situation and are trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
And so these guys work,
but in the dumbest way.
Oh, yes, because like the audience knows what's going on, but they have no fucking clue.
Yeah, they don't figure it out till like there's like 30 minutes left.
Yeah, maybe
that they're being hunted.
Yeah, because it's like it takes over an hour, I think, to get to like the next day.
It does.
Yeah.
Because the party scene is long.
Yeah.
But that's one of the best parts.
Yes. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. But yeah, it is great. So you have Richard Parker, who's like the straight-laced, super yuppie dude.
Yeah.
His friend Larry Wilson, who is the laid-back slacker.
Yeah.
It's like, what does Larry say at one point? Why can't you be like a lazy shit?
Why can't you be lazy like me?
Yeah. Why can't you be like a lazy shit like I am or something?
I know I got it in quotes.
Yeah. So they work for an insurance company. They work in accounting. They're doing they're doing some auditing.
Yeah, it looks like they're checking the books.
Yeah, and they're like out of college because
I figured they were supposed to be like mid-20s.
Yeah, I'm thinking because like Richard, when Bernie, their boss, the titular Bernie that they spend the weekend with, when he's like, Sammy, Hank, how are you?
Yeah.
And they're like, Richard Parker, sir, Larry Wilson. And then later on, he asks them like how long they've worked there. Richard says 19 months and 1 week.
In 1 week, yeah.
Yeah, and Larry's like, actually, I think it was longer. No, I trained you.
I trained you, bro.
Yeah.
You came in after me.
So it is like after college. And yeah, so they're probably like supposed to be like 24, 25.
Yeah.
And
they look old.
They do. I think Jonathan Silverman was maybe like 22 or something.
Oh my God.
He's only like 58 now.
God, he was looking old back. For 22.
Because look, the next day he is like a 5 o'clock shadow already, just waking up.
That's crazy.
And Andrew McCarthy, he's like 62 now, so he was probably like 26.
Yeah, but Gwen,
she was like almost 30.
She was like 30. Yeah, I was like, she was.
But she looked younger than both of them.
She did look younger than them. Yeah.
So they work for this company, and they go in on a Sunday, and they're, call me old-fashioned, Rich, but I love the park on a Sunday.
Yep.
And of course, it's because, the woman's like sunbathing and all that. So they're going to the park. This guy goes to rob him, and Larry's just like, "I'll get your ass out of here.
It's too hot for that, bro."
And the guy's just like,
"All right, he's right. Yeah, that shit was funny."
It's like,
it's
like, it's 89.
I'm like, I'm gonna try that if somebody ever tries.
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
It's too damn hot,
bro. Come on.
And that song, "Hot and Cold," I believe, is by Jermaine Stewart.
Okay.
Do you remember the song "We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off to Have a Good
Time"?
Yeah, same guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So I actually love that song, probably because it's in this movie. So, the song's playing. They're walking to work. Richard is waiting for him. Of course, Richard comes out of his apartment first, and there's a guy like hosing down the sidewalk. He's like, "Hot enough for you, Richard?" It's like
all the people on the way to
so
work.
Terrible.
It's so weird. I was like, "What the fuck, man?" I was like, I was getting nervous at first.
Yeah,
I was like, "This is weird," but I did laugh when he was like, "Hey, give me your money." He's like, "Bro, get the fuck out of my face."
Yeah,
that was funny.
But then when he finally meets up with Larry, because Richard's waiting for him, Larry comes crossing the street. You know, Richard's like, does this look like 10 or does this look like 10:30? And you know, Larry's like, it's 10:30 or only half an hour late. I'm usually 45 minutes late. I'm early today. So it's a Sunday and they're working, so they go to work, and even the security guard at work is like, I'll have them turn up the heat for you.
Yeah.
Or I'll tell the engineers. Are it hot enough for you, Larry? No, Harris. Why don't you have them turn up the heat? I'll call the engineers. So they go up, and you can tell Larry doesn't give a fuck because he goes to throw something out, and it lands next to the trash can. He just leaves it.
I was like,
And Richard sees it and has to like pick it up. And
that would be me, bro.
Obsessive compulsive. Anal retentive.
I just don't like litter.
Yeah.
So I would have had to.
And Larry's just like, I don't give a fuck. They don't pay me enough. Even though I'm here on a Sunday and they're paying me.
I'm like, but they don't pay you to make a fucking mess.
No, they don't.
Human decency.
Look, I get it, but it's who Larry is as a person.
Yeah, that's Larry's a little
That's
shit.
a Larry Wilson, yeah. So
well, he's an idiot, and fucking Richie shouldn't listen to him at all.
No, not at all. So I feel like he is dependent on Rich. It's a symbiotic relationship.
Yes, they are, because Richard's life would be boring as fuck without Larry, and Larry would have no direction. Yeah,
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Rich would be Eddie, and Larry would be Venom.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So they're working on the whatever it counts, because you know it's on like dot matrix.
Yeah, I'm like,
paper. It's the old stuff. Yeah, it's the old like serrated that has like my god,
the holes and shit on.
Yeah,
the side.
It takes like probably a week to print up like 3 pages.
Yeah,
because it's like one line at a time. Yeah, and it's crazy. So we're old enough to remember that.
Yeah,
that's
man.
crazy.
I'm like, getting up there. It is only 89.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true, and that was like
the
advanced.
Movie feels older.
It does.
It feels older.
It feels like it could be like War Games.
It feels like you should have been 4 or 5 on this game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, and it should have been like Matthew Broderick.
Like maybe 10 or 11.
Yeah, 12? I would believe it or not. Since it came out in July, I was 11 when it came out.
Yeah. So you're young as fuck when this dropped.
So they're working on it, and Larry's like, you know, I want to go to the beach, you know. And so he like steals Richard's papers and is like, we're going to the beach. And he, you know, and he runs away, and then it cuts to them on the roof. And Richard is still working, and Larry's like, man, this sucks. I'm so unhappy.
Yeah.
And so there's like a little pool with water, but like even the tar on the roof is melting.
It looks like
so fucking hot.
Fucking shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the concrete jungle.
Yeah.
For you right
sizzle,
there.
Sizzle, sizzle, as the guy on the radio says. So
it's hot as shit in New York in the summer, dude.
And it's getting towards Labor Day weekend.
Yep, terrible weekend.
So
weekend in the Hamptons.
Yeah. So it's the week before Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the Sunday before they're working, and then Richard notices on these pages there's a discrepancy.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells Larry about it, and Larry's looking, and Larry's like, and you know, Rich is like, do you see it? Yeah, I see it. What about it?
What about it?
And he, you know, and he tells him, so they decide to go tell Bernie in the morning, their boss. So they go in the morning to talk to Bernie, and that's that scene that I love when he's like, Sammy, Hank, how are you? Because obviously he doesn't know who the fuck they are.
These dudes
are
at all.
And honestly, the great Terry Kaiser, who we might as well get it out of the way.
He's peak season.
Peak season.
I was like,
yes,
peak season.
yes,
like,
yes.
Dudes, yes. Peak season without question.
Yes. There's no one else who could top his performance.
I was like, he's number 1 peak season. But the 2 leads are too.
Yeah, that's true. Because as much as Andrew McCarthy did before this, even Jonathan Silverman, and whatever they did after this, it's never going to compare.
Starring roles, and these are their most known films.
Yeah, because they even made a terrible sequel to it because this movie was so.
I was not about to watch that.
Never, unless you watch the beginning credits. I think I told you that.
Oh,
it's animated and it's pretty decent.
You're like, oh, this is going to be all right. And
oh shit, this is Steve James. What are you doing? Barry Bostwick, what the fuck are you doing? You were in Rocky Horror. Right? So they go to talk to Bernie, and then, you know, the Sammy Hank thing, and then they say what their names are, and he's like, look, it's Monday morning after lunch.
Yeah.
Quite a bit after lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And so his secretary shoos him off.
Yep.
And they go, and then Richard sees this girl that he's been infatuated with all summer.
Yep.
So Larry tries to encourage him to ask her out. And one of his best pickup lines is like, you know what you should say to her? You know what would look good on you? Me. Rich, that is a very good line. You know? And that's who Larry is. So, so things happen to, like, I guess she's getting on an elevator.
Yeah.
And Larry, like, pushes him on the elevator, so he has to talk to her. So Larry's waiting at their desks because their desks are close together. And then Rich comes back, and Larry's like, and I struck out.
Fucked up.
Yeah. And Rich is like, Larry, I won. It was a clumsy approach. It worked.
It worked.
So he's like, hey, fabulous. You're going to need my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And Rich's like, no, he's like, no, I can't do that to you. It's the cockroaches, isn't it? They scatter when the lights go on.
Yeah, I was like, this guy.
So if she finds out you live with your parents, you're going to embarrass yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then the secretary calls, like, Mr. Parker, Mr. Lomax. It's Bernie Lomax.
Bernie Lowe.
Is ready to see you now. So they go in and talk to Bernie. And Bernie, at first, he's not paying attention.
He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's like, I only want the Maserati if it comes in black.
Yep.
You know, then paint it. See how easy it is to work with me?
Yep.
And then he goes and, like, does a line of coke or something.
Yeah, I'm like,
he
what
does
the
something.
fuck is with this guy?
Yeah, he's batshit crazy.
Like, this dude's, and you just see he's even more crazy.
Yeah,
as the film goes on.
It's 80s excess, is what it's. It's sort of like, I was talking with Felicia about it today. It's sort of like what could have happened to, like, a Gordon Gekko type, you know, after the movie Wall Street. You know what I mean? Like, like you end up getting in with criminals, and, like, shit goes wrong.
You know what this movie reminded me of? American Psycho.
Wow.
Well, you know, it's got the yuppie 80s culture.
Yeah, and I think American Psycho may have been written around that time.
It takes place in the 80s.
Yeah.
So it's got that going for it. It's about oblivious rich guys who don't pay attention to shit.
Yeah.
And they're all out for their own selfish whatever.
Yeah.
They're all drug addicts and they're all fucking degenerate pieces of shit who do all this fucked up shit. But none of them really pay attention to each other because they don't really care about each other.
Yeah.
And that's I was like, they were definitely watching this when they made American Psycho.
Well, I wonder, because I think Bret Easton Ellis wrote that book in the 80s. Because did he write Less Than Zero also?
Maybe,
because that's a quintessential 80s film too. But you know what? You're right. If only they would have listened to, like, Huey Lewis and it would have been great.
Except the B is square.
Yeah. My God, you are right. Like, that is exactly what the culture was.
And like how everybody in American Psycho, they don't remember each other's names.
Yeah.
They don't know who the fuck they actually are. They just talk and no one actually listens.
Yeah.
Just like later on, not trying to jump ahead, but when Bernie's, you know, laying around with sunglasses on, people actually think he's listening to them and talking back.
Yeah.
He's not. You know what I mean?
I think one of the best scenes for that is when the guy is massaging it.
No, I like the dude. That was funny. He's like, dude, you're so relaxed.
Yeah,
bro. You feel like
and the guy next to him is like,
Yeah,
so he thinks it's Bernie.
I'm like, these people are so oblivious to everything.
Yeah, everybody.
My man, $30,000.
Yeah,
come on, Bernie. When he got to 50,000, yes.
All right, look me in the eye.
I was like, this reminds me of American Psycho. Yeah,
and you know what? That's true because they were just. Everything's so superficial.
Yes, everything.
And the weird thing is, I'm glad you brought that up because that's what Felicia and I were talking about too. Like Larry and Richard, like that's what their end goal is.
Yes, they want to be like these dudes.
But then they experience it, and I think they realize, like,
you know, I'm gonna work at fucking UPS. Yeah, dude, fuck this.
Because now that I think about it, the one thing that Larry said when they were working on that Sunday before he's like, I want to go to the beach. He's like, we're going to be here our whole lives. Mm-hmm. And the way he said it, like, this is Andrew McCarthy's peak season also.
Yeah, I was like,
I think him as Larry Wilson, he's actually really good. And it's like, you can feel his soul being crushed.
Because he
being
knows
there.
he's like, dude, this place is gonna suck you dry. You
Yeah.
fall in the same trap,
And not in a
as
good
everyone.
way.
Yeah, no, you fall in the same trap as everyone else. Do the
Yeah.
same fucking things. Get your little 2 vacations a week, white picket fence, 2.5 kids with the wife. I'm gonna hate my fucking life.
Yeah, because before they meet with Bernie, they actually have their lunch break, and they're getting hot dogs, and they see Bernie parking or having a valet park his Porsche.
Yep.
Some hot chick gets out of it,
Yep.
and he's eating at like a 5-star
Yeah,
restaurant.
I'm like, no, that's the life. No, I'll take Bernie's life.
Yeah,
Because Bernie ain't had no kids. He ain't
No.
no responsibilities.
he's giving
Bernie
free
got-
mustache rides.
Yes, he is. He got blow in his jacket.
Yeah,
Bernie don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, like, and you could. It's the best thing the film does is tell you Bernie's life story without him telling you his life
yeah,
story.
you're right. You
Everyone
learn
else
everything
tells
about
it
him.
for him. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone else tells it for him.
In a way, it's like Citizen Kane. This is the comedy
Yes,
version of
it's a
Citizen Kane.
It really is. It's actually a better movie than Citizen Kane.
Because they're trying to figure out, in a way, what happened to Bernie.
What happened to Bernie?
Yeah.
And because you really don't know because homeboy, I mean, he's slick. You know, they think
Wait, Paulie?
Paulie, he's slick. with his
I'm a little rusty.
Yeah, he was
Let
like,
him come back to me.
He said, I think he was too rusty.
Yeah. Maybe Paulie's a little rustier than we thought. Monsignor, sir, can you tell me where the top of the dune is? Bless you, my son.
Right?
Thank
Just
you,
like
Father.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Father.
It's funny. I was like, this shit. I was like, these
So-
guys.
So they're talking to Bernie. He finally starts to pay attention to him, and he's looking at the papers. And the weird thing is, he's looking at Richard's papers, and then he asks Larry for his papers.
Mm-hmm.
So when he gets Larry's papers, they're full of like the tar from the roof
Yep.
from when they were up there, and he's looking at it, and Larry's like, "Oh, that's computer ink, sir."
It's computer ink, right?
So Bernie's like comparing the stuff, and he's like, "No, look, you're wrong. There were multiple checks, because there were multiple policies on blah 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 blah." And then that look that Andrew McCarthy gives him, and then he's like, "Richard worked on that part, sir."
Yeah.
So then Richard explains that that's true, but the checks were issued after the policyholder
After the
died.
policy died, yeah.
And then they should have picked up on the fact that Bernie, without looking at the paper, was like, "You're right."
Yep. He was like,
They should have been like,
I
"Oh,
was
wait,
like,
yeah, you didn't even double
You
check
didn't
what I just said."
You already know. Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
like, oh, shit.
So it's like, this is good work, gentlemen.
Yeah.
This is good work. And then he gets the idea for them to come to the Hamptons for the weekend because it's Labor Day weekend. It's a long weekend. I'll drive you back to the city on Monday.
On Monday, no problem.
Yeah,
And I'd be like, this guy we just met didn't even know our real name.
yeah.
He didn't look at these papers. He wants us to come stay at his beach house for the weekend?
Yeah, because
Hmm.
we just found a $2 million discrepancy and
Wow.
saved them money.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they walk out, they're ecstatic, and Larry's like, he loves us. The man absolutely loves us. Then it cuts to Bernie in a restaurant saying, "You have to kill them,
You have to
Vito."
kill him, Vito. You got to do it. You
So,
got to take him out.
so he's talking to a mob guy,
Yep. Good
and
guy.
and that's where Paulie comes in because he's like the hitman.
Yeah,
mob
he's
guy.
he's
The
he's a
fixer. Let's
cleaner.
call him the
Yeah, he's a
cleaner.
He's
The
a
cleaner, yeah.
He's a cleaner.
Yeah.
So,
And Vito's girlfriend is
And
sleeping
his
with
wife?
Bernie. No, because he actually says when they're in the restaurant, he's when she goes out and the other guy goes to check on her, he's like, and he's talking to Paulie, he's like, forget the two guys, kill Bernie because he's becoming whatever, and plus he's screwing my girlfriend.
oh, he did. He did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised he said screwing.
I'm like, screw
And,
him.
Paulie's like, "Phew."
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, God, Bernie, you're a real piece of work.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Bernie-
Bernie's a piece of shit.
Yeah, Bernie is a piece of
I
shit.
was like, Bernie's
Because that's what you find out. So like Vito's girlfriend, so they arrange because Bernie's idea is to make it look like a murder suicide,
Mhm.
and he's going to plan a note with some money, so it looks like they were the ones embezzling the money. Because apparently the mob guys are getting a cut, or else Bernie wouldn't have anything to do with him. I wouldn't think, right?
Hell yeah!
And
cut.
and Vito's like, look, we're legitimate now. We're businessmen.
Yeah.
We do like parking lots,
Yeah,
or parking garages, and like other stuff. And it's like, what? So he concedes to do that, and all the while, like his girlfriend is like trying to play footsie with Bernie.
Like she's putting her foot
Yeah,
on his crotch.
Yeah,
it ain't even
and-
like she like touching his side of his
no,
leg.
no, she is like, and it's great when Bernie's trying to get Vito's attention. Vito,
Oh my god!
and they're like, huh? So and this great scene which shows, I think, who Vito is without giving you too much background on him. He's like, what kind of dressing is this? And the other guy tries it. It's raspberry vinaigrette. And he's like, raspberry vinaigrette? You know, he's like, what the fuck? So, you know, he's used to getting things his way.
Yeah.
And when he doesn't, he corrects it. So he knows Bernie is sleeping with his girlfriend. So he sets it up for Bernie to get killed instead of Sammy and Hank.
Yep, Sam and Hank, the homies.
Yeah.
Why are them two random names?
So
Not even close.
So then, like, it's a couple days later. Rich goes out with Gwen.
We'll keep this in mind. After Bernie leaves the restaurant, the girlfriend comes after.
Oh yeah, the girlfriend.
She's basically like, well, we're supposed to hang out this weekend.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's like, sorry, I can't. And
Yeah.
she's pissed off about it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because she's like, I told Vito, I'm going to see my mother.
I'm going to see my mom. you
Yeah.
know? So she's like, basically, I cleared my schedule for you.
Yeah.
And now, what am I supposed to do now?
And he was like, okay, well look, come to the house Friday at 9, or the apartment. You have the key.
Yep.
I'll be there, because his plan is to get to the Hamptons, set it up for the guys to get killed, and then get back, so he has an alibi.
So he has an alibi.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, we'll do it that way. So yeah, you're right. That is set up. You are correct.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's a very important
That's
scene.
important because what happened?
Yes,
after,
yes,
I was like, you gotta let him know.
One of the best lines in the film.
Yeah. So
How do you like that? So then it shows Richard's date with Gwen. They go to Jaime's Hoonin, a 4-star dive. And they're walking in the street. Yeah.
4-star dive.
You didn't like Jaime's Hoonin? That's a 4-star dive.
That's funny.
So they're talking, or they're trying to talk on the street, but it's so loud. There's like trash trucks.
Yeah. And it's like right next to him. Like he's parked like parallel to like the direction the road's supposed to, or perpendicular to the direction it's supposed to go. I'm like, bro, why are you parked this way?
And the even one trash guy's like, hey, you want to throw her in?
Yeah. Dudes on the streets always saying weird shit.
Yeah, huh? But I guess that's a New York thing.
Everybody
right?
in this movie has a comment.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
That's why I have something to say. Yeah.
Hi, Tawny. I'm horny.
Tawny was all right.
Hello.
Tawny was all right.
So they're walking, and then he had told her that his parents died.
Yeah, he lied so much to this damn girl.
He has. And then she's like, we could go back to my apartment, but I have 5 roommates.
Yeah,
because it's cheaper, and they're all at home doing their hair. That's a lot of hair.
A lot of hair.
So, she's like, why don't we go back to your place? And he's like, okay. So they go back. He's kind of tiptoeing around.
He told her his aunt died.
Yeah,
all these lies.
The only thing he's been honest about is his name.
The name, right?
That's
his
about
name,
it.
Maybe his age. She knows where he works.
Yeah,
that's about it.
And now she knows where he lives.
Because she's questioning, like, bro, how do you afford this? Like, it's like it looks like a house.
It does.
So I'm like,
it does,
dude. You're like 24 in New York City with a house
in the late 80s.
In the late 80s, not likely. So
unless it was your parents and rent control,
yeah,
and they
died or something.
Oh, that's when he tells her that they died in a train accident.
And the plane fell on them.
The plane fell on the train.
Yes, on the train. Because planes are supposed to be more dangerous than trains.
Or safer.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep, she's like, the plane fell on the train.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then his dad comes out.
Yep. They start hooking up.
Oh, yeah. They start making out. Mm-hmm. And then his dad comes out and in his underwear, in his boxers. Yeah. And then she's like, Richard, there's a man in your apartment.
He's like, don't worry about that nigga, bro. Yeah, he's like, don't worry about that dude. Yeah.
Okay, he's with me. And so he tries to pretend like it's his butler.
Yeah.
And she's like, goodbye, Richard.
Goodbye. She's like, bro, you lying. You're like, you just lying. You just lying to lie.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. It
And
doesn't make any
it's funny because I love now. One thing I did love about this shows you the lengths dudes will go to get some tail.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and a young 20-something, bro.
Yeah.
I've done some things when I was younger to get some tail I would never fucking do now. You know what I mean?
But here's the crazy part. He probably didn't take her to his room because his room probably
got fucking
race car band.
Yeah, I'm like, homeboy still got fucking. He got fucking all kinds of kitty shit.
Yeah. He has like
Cabbage Patch Dolls, race car band,
Care Bears.
You got baseball pet posters up and shit.
Strawberry Shortcake, Rainbow Bright.
You got the Star Wars poster up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the that one poster of Farrah Fawcett from the 70s.
From the that everyone has.
Yes.
And he's like, damn, bro, this is a classy lady. I can't bring her up in here.
Yeah.
She was way out of his league.
Just see how stiff that poster is.
Yeah. She's way out of his league, too.
She is. She is.
A baddie.
So she leaves, and then it's the next day. They're getting ready to go to the Hamptons.
Yep, time to go to Burns.
So Bernie goes to the Hamptons, and you see his routine, and everyone's like, "Hey, Bernie,
he's the man.
Bernie, he is
He's
the man
out there.
He is."
And I'm like, bro, you clearly doing some illegal shit. You got way too much money.
Yeah, because even his golf cart looks like a Porsche.
Dude, I'm like, you got way. His house.
Yeah.
Who has a house like that? That's your beach house.
Yes.
You probably don't live there all year.
No.
So I'm like, dude, who's fucking... Dude,
that was huge.
It's just you. It's a one income dude.
And
I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Because what did Larry say when they get there? He's like, this is what? $1 million and a half easy.
I'm like, if that was today, that's a 15 house. Bro.
Yeah. Maybe even more.
I'm like, Hamptons, 25 million?
Yeah.
Maybe even more.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like a house in the Hamptons right now, right on the beach, like that.
Yeah.
You are spending 8 figures at least. You know, you spending 8. I'm saying 15 to 25.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. Because he was like 1.7, 1.8. I'm like, that's cheap as shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, this is the 80s. So I was like,
yeah.
Is that house now? Whew, that thing easily 15 million. That place was sick. This house is sick as fuck though, dude. I was like, man, I skate in this house.
Yeah, and look, he's
huge. It had that big walkway over the top, right under the ceiling. I'm like, damn, that's sick.
Dude. Yeah, it's almost like a catwalk or something.
I was like, bro, that's fucking sick. That's good there, man. Dude, his bar, oh my God, his bar was crazy. I'm like, this house is lit as fuck in 89. Imagine like one of my buddies back home, he has a house on the beach. And he's like 2nd Street up. So he's close, but he's not on beachfront.
Yeah.
The house is on the front, dude. Oh my God. They're insane, man. They're nuts. I'm like, dudes, and he knows all the neighbors and shit. And you got a guy with $120,000 fucking car sitting in his driveway. What's going on, guys? How you doing? Come by, I'm grilling later. All right.
Yeah.
I'm like, God. I'm like, so I can say it is like that in Beach Town.
Yeah, because his door was always open.
Yes. And it's like that. He's like, bro, I can go over there whenever I want. They're good people. See them every day. I'm like, damn.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy. Everybody just walked in this motherfucker's house.
And here's what I don't understand. When he gets to his house, finally, after tipping all the people that are parking his boat or whatever, that one dude is sleeping there.
Yeah.
But the house is unlocked.
Yep.
Why aren't you inside pissed off at him, waiting for him? That dude who was because he's like, I just want my $90. And Bernie's like, you drink all my liquor and the toilet still don't work.
The toilet still don't work. Yep. And he's like, yeah, you're supposed to be fired. He said, I fired you, dude.
Yeah.
He's like,
so he kicks him in the ass.
Yep.
He's like, oh, kick me in the ass.
Yep. Bernie clearly, I guess when you're that rich and you got everything, little shit like that don't really bother you.
No.
I mean, it takes a lot to bother a guy whose life's that good.
Yeah, that's true.
That little that ain't nothing to you. You know what I mean? You can't crash your car. Oh, well.
Yeah.
You know, who cares?
Yeah.
We got it. You know, it's like shit. Guys like that don't live like us.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, dudes like Elon Musk, like when Elon Musk goes to the beach, that's like a week for him at the beach is some shit we'll never probably do in our lives.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like he got the finest women around. He got the finest top grade drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. The best hair plugs.
Best hair plugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they look good. Shit, you got that kind of money, they're going to look great. So,
yeah, it looks better than Elton John's hair plugs.
Yeah, I mean.
Sorry, Elton John.
Love you, Elton.
Yeah, we do, but it's true. You should have just gone bald.
Yeah, just wear a hat forever. Yeah. Wear a head wrap.
Like, I realized this week, believe it or not, it hit me because I saw a picture of the Situation Room, I guess during like the Iran bombings, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's like
toupee.
Colt 45, Colt 45, Colt 47, and JD Vance, right? And it's just those two in the picture. And the president is wearing a suit, but he's also wearing one of his douchebag MAGA hats, right? Mm-hmm. And it finally hit me as to why he wears his hats or when he wears his hats.
You got the hair in it?
Because he doesn't want to do his hair.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't got time.
He's like, I don't have time to do this cotton candy.
Yeah, dude.
This cotton candy, whatever. Yeah.
You ever seen American Hustle? David O. Russell's movie?
I have not.
Oh, bro, you gotta watch that.
I know it's a stellar cast.
Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Amy Adams,
Jeremy Renner, right?
Renner,
yeah,
Robert De Niro. I saw all kinds of motherfuckers in there. It's great, dude. There's a fucking 8-minute scene at the beginning where Christian Bale is perfectly doing his comb over, bro, and he gets it just right, and the cops bust in and fuck it up. And bro, I got so mad. I was like, you do not know what this man just did to get this fucking hair right, bro. Like Amy Adams had to help him. It was a lot, bro. It's an elaborate scene of a man getting his comb over. I was like,
so now,
fuckers.
So now you know why John Travolta was so upset in Saturday Night Fever when his dad touched his hair.
I mean, don't touch the hair, bro. I mean, he spent hours on that.
My hair.
Johnny T. God, I hate that movie.
So, yeah, it's terrible.
I do not.
Our friend just fell off of a bridge. Let's go dance.
Let's go dance. No problem. It's all good. And let's mistreat the thick, pretty girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, this girl was cute. They were acting like she was some fat pig. I'm like, God, the 70s were different, man. I'm like, this girl now, that body type is hella desirable.
Oh, yeah,
like, what? They were like, she's fat. I'm like, she's like 135 pounds.
Yeah, but she's 2 feet tall.
She's 5 foot. Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, that's before, thick was the thing.
Yeah.
Like that guy trying to save, thick women from being deported.
Bro, that was so, bro. I sent that to like 4 people, bro. I was cracking up. I was sending that around.
So,
anywho, yeah. So the boys finally get there.
Yeah. So wait, so Bernie's there and his phone's ringing.
Yeah. And, I can't skip this.
And it's Paulie because Paulie's already there.
Yep.
And Bernie picks it up as the machine picks it up.
Mm-hmm.
So he's talking to Paulie about how
this needs to get done.
Yeah, because he needs the alibi.
Yep.
He needs to be in the city for the alibi, and the guys aren't there yet. They're coming on the 6 o'clock ferry. Yep. Those two schmucks aren't coming until the 6 o'clock ferry.
Schmucks, yeah.
Schmucks. So Paulie's like, yeah.
Whatever.
Where's your house? And he's like, last house, top of the dune. So, they hang up, and then Paulie is there.
Yeah.
Paulie's there almost right away.
Sneaks the fuck in.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you're here already. He scares Bernie. Because Bernie just finished his time.
The nose. He's like, that's kind of, my deal, bro.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
Yeah.
So he asks him for a cigarette, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it was a smoke. Yeah.
You got a cigarette? So Bernie gets up to get him a cigarette. Paulie injects him with
whatever. Some mysterious. I was like, what the fuck did he just say? And he does it so quick. I literally had to rewind it because I literally turned my head for a second, and Bernie's like, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because Bernie's like,
bro. I literally turned for 2 seconds. So I was like, oh my lord. I was like, so he injected this motherfucker something. I'm like,
yeah.
What did he hit him with?
Whatever it was potent.
It was very potent because he died ass.
He did,
And I was
but
like,
but he died happy.
He did. He was smiling.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, shit. What he got to be mad about? He
Yeah.
probably fucked half these young bitches on the beach. This
Yeah.
dude's fucking chilling. He got top grade liquor, top grade chicks. He eats
Everything.
steak every night.
Yeah.
You know this dude eating shrimp and steak every night. Come on,
Big
man.
shrimping.
Yeah, big shrimping.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
which is, it sounds like a porno starring Little People.
Little People.
Yeah, it does.
Big shrimp and cheese.
Little People with normal sized junk.
Yeah,
Now, so Paulie puts on his priest dicky. I'm sorry, you're just
You did not. I'm like, yo, he's still talking, but I'm still stuck on what this motherfucker just said. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And you just glazed by it like you didn't just say that. I'm like, this fucking guy, bro.
I can't help it.
Go ahead.
So Paulie puts on his priest dicky.
Yeah,
'cause that's
he
his
just
disguise.
it's like something you just stick onto your shirt. real
Yeah.
quick.
You put the collar on,
Yep,
and it looks
boom,
like you're
you
wearing.
look legit though.
Yeah, and he puts sunglasses and a hat on.
Hat on.
Yeah, his
Really
Panama Jack hat
Yep.
and his sunglasses, and all while this is happening, Larry and Richard, they get on the ferry and they think they're late. They're not.
They're
It's
not.
docking. They thought it was blown away.
Yep.
So
They jump on this
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Bro.
and that's when Richard's like, Larry, it's not leaving. It's docking. He's like, oh, we're early.
Yep.
So Richard is just miserable the whole time.
But dude, the ferry over was lit.
I know, and
It's
Richard
like,
is miserable.
I'm like, bro.
Larry's dancing.
Like, yeah, I was like, I'd be like, this is, I'm like, dude, you can't tell me we're not set up for a great weekend.
Yeah.
If this is how we're getting there. We're partying on the way there.
Yeah, and Larry is talking to that chick. He's like, "Hey, what's your name?" She's like, or she's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Larry." What's your name? She's like, "Michelle." You know, he's actually connecting with people, whereas Richard is like the uptight,
Yep. I'd be
anal
sipping
retentive.
mimosas,
Yeah,
dancing, eating fucking hors d'oeuvres. Like,
yeah.
I'm
And
doing-
Richard is there talking to the crusty old lady.
Yep. I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
Nice speaking to you, young man.
Yep.
You know, and so they get there. They're getting off the boat, and that's when
They asked the father.
And Larry's like, "Oh, Monsignor, sir."
Yep.
Where the top of the dune is. Oh, because Richard asked Larry where Bernie lives, and Larry has it written down because the secretary wrote it down.
She wrote it down.
And he's like, "Last house on the point, top of the dune."
Top of the dune.
Yeah. And it's like, "Monsignor, sir, can you tell me where the top of the dune is?"
Mhm.
Bless you, my son.
Bless you, my son.
Yeah. Thank you, Father.
I'd be like, thank you for not killing us.
Yeah. So they find it eventually because everyone knows where
Everybody
Bernie
knows. They
lives.
just asked where Mr.
Lomax.
Lomax's house.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's over there.
They could have said just Bernie.
Burns.
Oh yeah, Burnings.
You
Yeah.
know where the burn is?
So they go into the house. They're like, Mr. Lomax, and there's no answer. So they're looking around and they're looking at everything.
They
And
start
they're just
having
like,
drinks.
yeah.
Fucking
Oh my
Larry's-
God, it's
Larry
Liechtenstein.
started drinking out the motherfucking bottle.
Oh yeah.
It's like, bro,
We're house guests.
you thought if he was alive, he walks up to where he is with the bottle. You think he would be all right with your ass just grabbing a bottle at the bar and drinking it? I'm like, motherfucker, get a glass.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't know. I'd be like, you ain't got no home training. You ain't staying. That's the scenario was real.
And that's the funny thing, because what does Larry say about that little kid later on? He's like, what kind of home training is this?
Yep. Joe, right?
That's what he
What
says.
training is this?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Kiss my ass. What kind of home training is this? So they're looking around the house and they're in awe.
Yeah, it's fucking beautiful.
And then Richard is like, Larry, I found him. And he's like, Mr. Lomax, because he sees him sitting in a
He's
chair.
asleep or whatever.
Yeah.
I would think so too at first. I'm like, this nigga's cooked, bro. He must have partied too hard.
So then they find out that he's dead.
Yep. And they find a bag of blow in his pocket.
Yes. And
Which
they're
was
like,
planted there
yeah, which was planted there by Paulie
by Paulie.
to kind of give, I guess,
The
to
illusion
make it look
that
like
he
POD.
was doing shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird because later the chick comes up and she's like, oh, you got something for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he obviously
Deal.
delves in this. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, he
yeah.
obviously deals in this. So I'm like, it just happened to be.
Yeah.
Paulie must have knew that or something too. I don't know. Because I'm like, she knew and she knew where to look for it too.
Yeah. But also, like, maybe that's a normal thing. Like, if he's there,
That'd be normal.
he has whatever.
Yeah, he's
for
like,
her.
I got what. I mean, of course.
Yeah.
Look how he's living.
Yeah, I mean, it's Bernie.
It's Bernie. Bernie is living.
Yeah.
Shit, Bernie was chilling.
So they're trying to formulate a plan because Richard wants to call the cops.
Yep.
Larry is like, yeah, I guess we should.
Let's enjoy the weekend first.
Maybe, but then people, because
the girl comes up.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
asks for the bike.
Yeah, before they find Bernie, Tawny comes in.
She's like,
and borrows the keys to the boat.
The boat. Oh.
And tell Bernie I borrowed his boat to go water skiing.
Yep, don't forget to tell him.
Yeah, because that's when, she's like, I'm Tawny. And that's when there's like, hi, Tawny, I'm horny.
Damn, right?
Yeah.
She came in.
Yeah.
Bouncing around.
Yeah. And believe it or not, whenever she passes, those silicone implants will still be around.
They will live around.
Yeah, they'll still be around. I don't know if they'll disintegrate.
I don't think so.
So
maybe they'll float up.
Yeah, they might. So that did happen before they find Bernie. So they find Bernie. He's on the couch. And that's when they realize that he's dead because they try to move him around to help him kind of wake up.
Yeah, they start slapping him and shit, shaking him.
Don't hit your boss. Yeah. Don't hit him. He's your boss.
Yep.
And so then they're sitting there trying to figure it out. Like, well, we got to call the cops. We got to do this. And then that's when the party gets to Bernie's house.
Yeah, it just pops up. I'm like, this is an impromptu party.
Yeah, because that older guy is like,
Bernie. It was Bernie. Yeah, I think he was like, and this is one of my favorite scenes. Is the party scene.
Well, yeah, because he's the guy who, like, he's talking about Gwen. He's like, her father and I went to Harvard together. Yeah, because you're right. The party scene's a good, 20, 25 minutes. It's
long. I'm like, it's a fat chunk of this. It's not a long movie. It's a fat chunk of this movie because, the party kind of tells you who Bernie is as a guy outside of work.
Yeah.
Because all these different people come up to him for different reasons.
Yes.
You got the personal trainers. Yes. You got the party girls do drugs. You got this guy who wants him to invest. You got this gay dude who probably just hangs out and gets drunk.
Yeah. The guy who wants to buy his Porsche.
Yeah, the guy who wants to buy his car. That's he's got every motherfucker in the damn... And the whole Hamptons was at this goddamn house.
Yeah.
Because it got booming. It was a party. It was a party. And obviously, he knows the cops there and everyone.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit. Everyone's so oblivious to everything that's actually happening.
Yes.
No one even questions whether Bernie's actually alive or not. He's just laying there like this with sunglasses on his face. And he's like, Bernie, this XYZ? Come on, bro. And they're like, Bernie can... Yeah, I love you, dude. You're the man. I'm like, oh my Lord.
Yes.
And I'm like, but
and that's when Larry gets the idea because he sees that happening.
He's like, bro, these people are stupid.
Yeah,
so I'm like, man, everybody's coked up, everybody's drunk, no one actually is paying attention to anything that's going on.
Yeah.
Because my favorite dude was a dude who kept asking for the loan. He kept going up 10,000.
Oh yeah. He's the one who wanted to buy the car.
Yeah. When he got up to 50, he was like, "God, I love you, Larry." Yeah. That shit was so funny because at that point they were holding him up.
Yeah,
and they were outside the pool, so it was even funnier because he wasn't sitting on the couch.
Oh yeah, because that's after Gwen gets there, and she wants to talk to Bernie, and Richard's like, "No,"
and I'm like, "Bro, just let her."
Yeah,
I'm like, because even if he just happens to tilt, she'll be like, "Well, he's busy."
Yeah,
what I mean? I'm like, she's not going to notice either. No one else does.
Yeah, and that's what made Terry Kaiser's acting so great.
That's what I was like, bro.
Yeah,
I was like, this dude definitely had the best performance because he had to fucking pretend. I'm like, bro, getting yanked around, you had to lay your head all limp and not move your mouth. It's probably why they gave him a mustache ride. So. It could be blocked if his mouth moves a little bit. They're give him a free mustache ride stash.
I want to know how. I guess whenever they were filming him, they're like, just hold your breath.
Hold your breath.
Yeah.
He was like, man, this is the toughest role ever.
Yeah.
He's only had to talk the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then the next hour,
I'm literally being dragged
Yeah.
around. I'm getting dropped off the shit. Some of them were obviously like dummies or whatever.
Yes.
Like when they drop him off the side, I'm like, bro, this motherfucker would have. He ain't dead. He dead now.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's not dead. He's alive. He's alive.
He would have drowned because he fucking went out in the ocean.
Yes.
Dude, that was sick. When he floated back, I was like, ugh. I'm like,
this is so right.
You're about to, right? I'm like, oh, we can't do it out here like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, bro, shit. If she ain't noticed, I might have been like, oh, he been dead.
Yeah. Just keep looking
like,
this
the
way.
Water might take him back.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I'd be like, yo, he just left. I don't know. He must have tripped and fell in the ocean. Who knows? Shit.
Yeah. They could have played it off like that's how he died.
Like,
like, why didn't he do that at that point? Because that's before they found out.
Yeah, I'll be like, yo, let that motherfucker float back in the ocean, dog.
Yeah.
I'll be like, shit. Hell no. Find a motherfucker in the Atlantic. Peace. Because, I ain't got no time.
Because then they won't get blamed for it.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, he invited us over. We came over. He had a party.
Yeah.
We ended up, going our separate ways at the party.
Yeah.
He left and... Yeah. You know what I mean? I bet there's a ton of people.
Yeah, look, I was getting sand in my ass crack. I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
I'd be like Jay Sudeikis in Horrible Bosses. He's like, sir, where were you when this all occurred? I was making love. That's what I would say. I'm like, I was getting it in with a baby too. I'm like, you know what I'm saying, officer. He'd be like, no, I don't get none.
That's why I'm a bitter, angry police officer.
That's why I'm fucking beat you up, man.
Yeah.
But anyways, go on.
Oh, okay. So they have this party, and that's when Larry realizes, because he sees the way people can't tell that he's dead.
Yeah.
So he's like, if we pretend he's alive,
we can live out the weekend.
At least just until Monday.
Yep.
And
he brings a pulley system on his arm.
He does. he goes all out. So Richard wants to call the cops. And then Gwen comes in.
Yeah, she always interrupts when they're about to call.
Yeah, so Richard's like, all right, Larry, give me 10 minutes. So, hey, take 20.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he goes over to Bernie. And he's like, you slay me, Bernie. And he's sitting next to him.
Yep.
And he's figuring out then how to make this dead man look alive.
Yeah.
And so... Richard is interacting with Gwen, and then that's when the whole thing happens. Like we said, she wants to go to Bernie. He's like, no. And then they go to hide Bernie.
They drop him off the fucking side.
They drop him off the side. And another one of my favorite scenes with Larry, because they're just like staring at him, and Larry's like, I'd give it an 8.3.
8.3. I'm like, he fucking scored him. I'm like, this guy probably broke something. He probably broke something, this motherfucker, bro.
So they leave him there.
Yeah. And then we basically covered it like he fucking gets washed in the sea, and then he washes.
Because as they're standing there, Larry looks out and he's like, "Rich girl, beach, moonlight. Have you ever seen From Here to Eternity?"
Yeah.
So Richard goes out, and that's when they're making out again.
He was about. He keeps
getting interrupted. Yeah.
Old men keep blocking him.
Oh yeah, because they go into the lighthouse.
Yep.
And he gets blinded by the light.
He falls down the fucking whole trap door.
Yeah, and she finds it endearing, his stupidity.
Yep. And I'd be like, this motherfucker wouldn't have been fucking. He would have been injured.
Yeah.
He fell down a lot of stairs, bro.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, God damn. I'm like, no, you must be young, because that should have killed me to death.
Yeah.
I'm fault, man. Shoot.
So they do the thing with Bernie, and then he goes back and gets Larry.
Yeah.
So they bring Bernie back, and that's when they hear someone yelling.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's throw him in his bed and tell whoever it is.
Yeah, the party just dispersed.
Yeah, because it's a roaming party.
Yeah, they were like, all right, we're going to the next rich guy's house, I guess.
Yeah, once his resources are depleted, we go to the next one.
All liquor's gone, ain't no more Coke, so we're out.
Yeah. So they put Bernie in the bedroom, and you find out, you hear
it's the mistress.
It's the mistress, and she's obviously drunk.
She's drunk.
She's
pissed.
And she like slides in the door, like holding on to the handle. And I'm his woman.
And they're like, oh.
They're like, we're his house guests.
Yeah.
Who are you? I'm his woman. She goes out into the kitchen, grabs a kitchen knife.
Yeah, bro.
Goes through a lot of shit to find that kitchen knife.
She's like, listen, I'm going up to see him, and he better be alone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn. And they're like, well, this is a good thing because she can find him.
Yeah, she'll find him.
She'll
Yeah.
be like, well, oh, yeah, he was just up there asleep. Oh, she found him. Yep.
Yeah, this is great. So they're sitting there waiting. The dude who works for Vito is outside peeking in. You see her in the window going into the room. She puts the knife down, starts stripping.
Yeah.
And they're waiting downstairs.
She fucks
and they're like, what's taking so long?
She clerks them.
She's been up there, what, 10, 15 minutes?
It was like 30.
Yeah, she did Clerks and before Clerks.
Yeah, before Kevin Smith was watching that.
Yeah. And so she comes down the steps and she's like, do, yeah.
Off.
Yeah. And they're like, was everything all right? She's like, never better.
Never better. Perfect. I'm like,
and that's when Larry says the best line in the movie. He's like, how do you like that? The guy gets laid more dead
than I do alive. Yep. I definitely had that in quotes.
I get yelled at when I just lay there.
Yo, I was like, these niggas said I get laid more. He gets laid more dead than I do alive. Yeah, I was like, that's funny as shit. Actually.
Oh, a guy, and the look on his face.
He looks so.
They're just like, because she's like, got any scotch?
Yeah.
So Richard goes up and pours it, and he's like, hey. And that's when he asks her. And she's like, yeah. And they're like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
So then Richard is tired. He's beat. So Larry lays him down, tucks him in on a chaise lounge or whatever the fuck it was. And Larry's like, look, I'm going to go find the next party, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, all right. So it's the next morning. It's 11:30.
Yeah.
Larry's already up with Bernie. That's when he has him tied up. Yeah. To the,
it's like an umbrella.
Yeah, the umbrella on the patio. Yeah, and you're right. They're playing Monopoly, drinking daiquiris.
Yeah, I'm like living life.
Look, those chicks walk by. They're like, "Hey, Bernie. Hey, Larry." Everyone knows Larry now.
Yeah, he was partying.
It took one night, and everybody knows who Larry is.
At the age he's supposed to be.
Yeah,
outed, bro. Hit out there.
That actually was his age though at the time, because he would have been like 25 probably when they filmed it.
He was like almost 30, bro.
Yeah, but he was also part of the Brat Pack. That was probably hard living.
That's hard living. Yeah, he was actually living that life.
Yeah,
they were like weekend at Bernie, shit, weekend at Molly's. They're like, this is what we do.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're there, and Richard wakes up and. 11:30. You let me sleep till 11:30. So it's like Jonathan Silverman was doing his best, like early Jerry Lewis impression. It seemed through most of the movie. So they're talking, and then I think Richard wants to call the cops again.
Yeah, he brings it up several times.
He does, and then who shows up?
Gwen. She always foils it.
Always. So. He's trying to stop her from seeing Bernie. He's like, we're in an important meeting, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So Larry's trying to do whatever. And at this point, the dude had called Vito that night, the night before, and told him what his girlfriend and Bernie were doing in the bedroom.
Yeah. He's like, so, maybe Vito's rust, or maybe
maybe Paulie's rustier than we thought. So Paulie's back at the Hamptons. Because apparently
he got to finish the job that he already finished.
Yeah. So Paulie's there. He's at the house. So when Larry dumps Bernie's body over the deck again, Bernie falls right on
and he grabs him.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's attacking.
Yeah.
He thinks he's trying to choke him out.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's choking him out. That sounds like the dude who played Bernie definitely gets an A+ for that action, bro. Because it looked legit. It was funny.
Yeah. It was crazy. So Paulie kills him again.
Yes.
And then
kills him again.
And Richard is finally honest with Gwen. He's like, "Look,
dude, this
Bernie's dead.
And
I will show you."
You don't believe that.
Yeah. Oh, just like your parents, just like your aunt.
And it's like, why should she believe?
Yeah, she shouldn't, because he's a lying sack of shit.
Because like that, it's like, why would Bernie be dead? Why would our boss be dead?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because she only knows him from work.
Yep.
So he takes her out onto the deck, and Larry's there, just drinking a daiquiri.
Yep.
Where's Bernie? Oh, he went for more daiquiri mix.
Yep.
No, he didn't. What the fuck did you do with Bernie? So she storms out.
Yeah, like she does.
Yeah. in her demure one piece bathing suit and her shirt. Yes. So Richard, I think he follows her, but then he just comes back to Larry. He's like, "What did you do with Bernie?" And he's like, and he just points. So they look, and there's a little kid burying Bernie in the sand.
He's basically all done. Bro.
Yeah, just his face is sticking up, and that's when the little kid is like, "Kiss this," and that's when Larry's like, "What kind of home training is that?
Mm-hmm.
Kiss my ass." So they unbury Bernie, get him up.
Oh, it took a while.
It would have had to. He was really
deep, bro.
He was.
Like you said, his face was out.
So they take him inside, vacuum him off.
That was one of the funny. I was like, they vacuuming this motherfucker.
And they find out he wears a toupee.
He wears a toupee, yep.
Yeah,
because it comes off. That was a good toupee, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, your boy, he should call Bernie's guy.
Oh, and so, actually, wait, because. Right, is it before that or around that time is when they actually find out? Oh, because Richard wants to call the cops, and he's at the phone, and that's when the answering machine,
the
message comes on,
comes up,
and Larry is the only one who's smart enough to say, "Hey, play that back,
dude."
He's like, "I just turned it off." So Richard plays it, and that's when they find out. So they go looking for the note.
Movie to figure out.
Because there's only like 20 minutes left at this point.
There's not much left.
20, maybe 15. Because if you don't count the credits.
I'm like,
so they listen to the message and they're like, oh, there's a note somewhere. So they're looking through everything. Richard finds the briefcase with the money and the note, and they're reading the note, and the note is basically Larry saying that that they stole the money to pay for his sex change. It's Dog Day Afternoon, right?
Afternoon.
To pay for his sex change operation. He's in love with Richard.
Yep.
And now Richard says he's in love with someone else. So if I can't have him, no one else will.
And he's like, damn, dude, this is fucked up. He's like, what? He's like, why am I the one getting the fucking sex change?
Yeah.
Like, I got a reputation to look at here.
Yeah. He's bad enough for trying to kill me. Now he's turning me into a drag queen.
That's funny.
Yeah, I have a reputation to protect. So... And then I think Gwen shows up after that.
Yeah.
Because then after when they find out Bernie has a toupee, they're like, well, how are we going to put it back on him? Because you couldn't even tell. Because they realized that in the message, Bernie says, don't kill them while I'm around. Mm-hmm. So in their minds, they're like, as long as they have Bernie with them, the killer will not kill them.
Even though.
Not realizing that he was the target, not them. Anyway, so when the toupee comes off with the vacuum, they're like, how are we going to put this back on? Because the killer might not know it's Bernie. Mm-hmm. So I realized that scene did happen before. Mm-hmm. So Larry, being kind of ingenious, finds a stapler.
Yep, bro. I was like, he stapled this not just a stapler, a stapled gun.
Yeah, a stapled gun, yes. You're right, it's a stapled gun.
To his fucking head.
Yeah, it's a stapled gun.
I was like, I was like, I know he dead, but shit. Imagine just, bro, that shit would hurt so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh.
And so they decide to use Bernie to get off the island.
Yeah.
So they take Bernie and they go to
he's kind of like a access card.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So, they put him in the radio flyer and bring him down the planks and he's it's
fantastic. Gets a mess though.
Yeah.
Bro. The end of this
it is. It's crazy. It's crazy. So they go to the boat and they get the idea if they tie like his shoes to their shoes and have him between them, it'll look like they're all running together.
Yeah.
And Paulie's on the boat and he sees them. And he's like, "Stop the boat! Yeah. Stop the boat!" Because he's like, "I thought I killed him again."
Yo, he's like, "I gotta kill all these dudes."
Yeah. So Paulie's and even Larry says he's like, "We're trying to get on this boat. This guy's trying to get off."
Yeah.
And so they realize. So Larry is like, "Wait, we have a boat. Tawny returned the keys. Remember?" So they go back. They get the keys, but then that's when like the dude whose ass Bernie Kick comes back,
Yeah.
and they don't know if he's the killer.
Yeah.
So it's like, you get him, Rich. I'll take care of Bernie.
And they crack him all in the head with bottles.
Yeah, and then
no,
the bottles are later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he has like a vase or a vase.
That's right.
And he knocks him out. They put him in the closet. Then the gardener
comes up. Yeah,
and the gardener's like, Mr. Lomax. They're like, he's got a knife.
Yeah,
he's the gardener. Because they don't know who the killer is. Yeah, so anyone can be the killer.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as they know, Gwen could be the killer. I just realized, right?
Yeah.
So they knock him out too. They lock him in a closet, and then they go on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And that is illegal.
Yeah.
What you're doing is illegal. So, Larry, do you know how to drive a boat? I was born on a boat. So shenanigans ensue, boat-related shenanigans.
Bro, he gets
they tie
motherfucking speed. Bro.
They tie Bernie up in the boat,
bro.
And he just what's that sound?
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like this body, they desecrated corpse terribly.
This guy's body wouldn't be shit.
No, he would be so bruised up.
Oh my god. And he's dead too. So oh my god.
Yeah, and
bro, he was hitting them things hard as fuck.
He was.
I was like, god damn.
Yeah, bong.
He's hitting that water too.
Bong.
Like,
yeah. Hey, showing off again, Bernie.
Yeah. These guys.
And you're right. Everyone is fucking oblivious.
Yes.
Because they think it's just Bernie doing this shit.
Yeah, I'm like, because he just does this.
Yeah. Because Bernie is the craziest motherfucker ever.
It definitely is. He has to be.
So the boat runs out of gas. They use the body as a flotation device to get back to the house. Gwen sees them dragging him back as like Richard is bitching. You got to hear him complaining about everything that Larry's put him through, even though he's a willing accomplice.
I'm like, you're down too.
So they get in the house. Gwen shows up, and he finally he tells her, and she still doesn't believe him. And then Larry brings the body down, and he's like, look.
He's like, look here, bitch.
Look, he's dead.
This is what it is, man, and we ain't got time for this.
Yeah,
no
can we stay at your place or what? Because her parents live in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
And which is weird, because if her parents had that much money, why didn't she just work for her dad or whatever?
Yeah, I'm like, well, she was about to leave the job anyway.
Well, because it was just a summer thing to go back to school, but then it was Labor Day weekend, and college always starts before Labor Day. Yeah. So what the hell? Unless she's still in high school?
No fucking way.
Because high school used to start after Labor Day.
There's no
or school. I'm just saying.
No way. She got a real job. There's no way.
I'm just saying maybe she's like 18 and a senior. Even though she's 29.
Years old in the movie.
Yeah, but she still looked younger than the 22-year-old.
She did, but not no 18.
Hey, that's an 80s 18.
That's the 80s. Yeah, that's a hard 18.
That's a Tawny Katane. Remember in Bachelor Party, she was like 22.
22, yeah. I thought it was like, she was 30.
Yeah, exactly. So technically she might have been.
Maybe.
So she's there. The guys break out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Richard is like, do we look like we could kill? Do we look like we could kill anybody? And then Larry's like explains it to her, and then Richard's like, let me rephrase that. Do I look like I could kill anybody?
Yeah.
And then the guys that they locked in the closet break out, and that's when they do the bottles.
Up,
yeah. Because Larry's just like, smash. And she's just like, and then Paulie busts in.
He starts acting a fool.
He shoots Bernie's corpse because Bernie's sitting on the steps, just like staring.
He's still like, because he's like, this motherfucker's still alive.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm gonna shoot this motherfucker up.
He busts in, unloads like 5 or 6 rounds in him.
Yeah,
because it's a revolver.
6. He probably had 5 or 6. So
yeah.
It felt like 5 shots.
Yeah.
But then he was obviously empty after. So he shot out at least 5.
And they're like, hey, he's out of bullets. And he's like, yeah.
Sorry,
but this
ain't another pistol, man.
So he's chasing them around. And the weird thing is, and this is probably one of my nitpicks, Paulie's like, there's nowhere to hide as everyone's hiding from him.
Yeah. In this big ass house.
Dude, they're all hiding from you and you're saying there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah, like it's big ass house.
So they're being hunted down by Paulie because he wants to kill them all because they witnessed him shooting a corpse at this point. And so they're all running around. Larry runs down the steps, trips over Bernie's corpse.
Yep.
And Bernie falls, lays at the bottom of the steps, and his one leg is on the handrail to the steps.
Yep.
Paulie comes down the steps, moves his foot, and Bernie kicks him in the crotch.
Kick him in the nuts.
And he's like, "You kicked me," and then he just starts like shooting him again, doesn't he? And then Larry jumps up, ties him up, knocks him out, and that's essentially the end of the movie. The cops come.
Everything's good.
And I guess Paulie confessed to killing him, but then as they're dragging him out in a straitjacket, he's like, he's alive.
Yeah.
He's not dead. He's alive. He's alive.
He's like, this guy's driving me crazy.
He's on the stretcher like this. Like he's supposed to play girl.
He's chilling.
Yeah.
Dude, he's chilling the whole time.
And then that's when you find out Gwen asked Richard to stay.
And he was like, bro, don't you? She said both of them to stay.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, don't you dare stay.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just going to tough it out here at Bernie's.
I'll tough it out here.
Yeah. And, so happily ever after, except for the ambulance knocking the stretcher. So Bernie goes flying and then lands next to him.
Yep.
And they're like, and they run away. And then the little kid's like, hey, mister, can I bury you?
Can I bury you? Yeah.
And he lays down, and the kid's like, great.
Yep.
That's the end of the film.
That's the end.
Wow, that's actually the whole movie.
It's a tribute film.
Yeah.
It's a tribute film for sure. I was like, man.
I do love this movie, though.
It's good. It's definitely the relic of time.
It is. Yeah. It's very much a product of its time as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Now I just got to find my things here.
All your stuff. All right. Well, MVP is pretty easy.
Oh my God, Terry Kaiser. Terry
Kaiser's MVP.
Oh yes, definitely,
with no question.
Because I don't know. Even at that time, I can't think of anyone else that would actually be that committed. Because Daniel Radcliffe wasn't around. He wasn't a Swiss Army man yet.
Swiss Army man.
Yeah.
No, he was not.
Yeah.
This was before his time. He was probably born, maybe, I think he's around my age, so a little bit after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. MVP or peak season. Terry Kaiser, Andrew McCarthy, and Johnny Silves. Yep.
Yeah.
All three of them. They ain't top this. They ain't never going to top this.
Jonathan Silverman was in a short-lived TV show called The Single Guy, which was like a ripoff of Seinfeld.
Of course.
In like the mid-90s, which wasn't bad.
But it wasn't Seinfeld.
Yeah, because it wasn't Seinfeld and it was trying to be, it was terrible.
That's always how it goes.
Although it's the first time a lot of people saw, what's her name? Ming Na Wei, or is that her name? She was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff.
I have no idea.
She's a great actress. Anyway, she was in that show.
All right. Do you want Na Wen?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, she's older.
Yeah, she is older. She's like in her 60s now.
Yeah. She did a lot of work.
Yeah. I think she was like the voice of Mulan way back when.
Was.
Yeah. But she's actually a great actress.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Joy Luck Club. Well, she was in. Oh, she's the chick from Boba Fett. She's actually an incredible actress.
Yeah, she is. She was in The Single Guy.
Great in that show.
That might have been one of the first things she really did that like gave her a steady paycheck.
I guess she's in the new Karate Kid movie.
Probably just because
she was in ER too.
She was in ER.
Yeah, she's in Mando. All that. Yeah, she's great. She plays Fennec Shen. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
And look, she's in your age group.
She is. She is in my age group.
You're a senior. I need to see your AARP card, or we can't date.
You can't, right? Woman. Like,
look, I need Tuesday discounts.
I'm like, yes, right? I'm like, listen, if you can't give me that discount with that senior, we got a problem here. I need a senior coffee.
Yeah.
All right, you want to handle quotes?
I can.
Or do you want me to do them? You think you're going to overquote it?
I might just quote the whole movie. So
all right, I got.
Yeah, I'll just throw some in. Because I mean, during the thing, I was quoting.
Yeah, I was like,
just off the top of my head,
this guy's going to quote it up.
Yeah.
All right, get your ass out of here. It's too hot. My aunt is very sick. What? Nothing. It's only fair. His car is a bit bigger than your apartment.
Oh, yeah. When they're talking about, Do you know how much it costs to park a car?
It's like more than my apartment.
Yeah.
It's the cockroaches, isn't it? They scatter when the lights come on. E? Huh. Burn E.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 4-star dive.
Yeah. You didn't like Hami's Hunan?
Yep. I mean, that's probably good. Always thought trains were so much safer than planes. Actually, a plane fell off a train. Will you lay out my navy blue suit? How about I lay you out?
Very well.
What the hell are you doing here? I fired you last week.
Oh, yeah.
Get your hand off me, Bernie.
Oh. Yes.
Love you, darling. Just love you. You could really use some sun. That's what the gay dude said.
Yes.
That dude had to be gay.
Yeah, he had to have been, yeah. Even though he went to Harvard with Gwen's father.
Yeah. Doesn't anyone realize he's dead? And that's like,
yeah,
these people.
Yeah, because Richard keeps looking around like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm Larry. Fuck off, Larry.
Oh, yeah. That was a crazy, like, fireplace.
Yeah, that thing was crazy.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I can't believe I'm touching a dead body.
Yeah.
Polyester doesn't crumble.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a nice outfit. It would look even better crumpled up on my floor.
Yeah. Polyester doesn't crumble. I'm like, these fucking guys. Bro.
Yeah, creepy old drunk guys.
Old drunk rich dudes. Yeah. You know what I mean? 50,000? Yes, I knew it. I'm his woman, and I'll kill him if he's cheating on me. Here's your favorite. Guy gets laid more dead than I do.
Yes.
I was like, how do you like that one? I was like, that was one of the best.
I get yelled at when I just lay there.
What were you doing in the bed? What were they doing in the bedroom? I don't want to say. Mr. Lomax is my boss.
Oh yeah, when he's trying to explain to Gwen, and the next morning. Yeah.
Yep. We were on the 6 o'clock ferry. And we're two schmucks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those two schmucks aren't coming till the 6 o'clock ferry. Wait, we were on the 6 o'clock ferry, and we're two schmucks.
We're two schmucks. It's not bad enough he's trying to kill me. He's trying to turn me into a drag queen. Why can't you be a lazy shit like I am?
Yeah.
Boats don't have brakes.
Yeah.
That shit. He said brakes. I was like,
yeah, where are the brakes?
He's got nice form.
Oh, yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah. This guy. Paddling in the Atlantic Ocean with a dead person.
Yeah, that's what. Yes, yeah.
It's empty. That's right. But this ain't.
Oh my God. Yeah. But we're friends of Bernie. I hate Bernie's friends.
Hi, Bernie. See you at the party tonight.
Oh, yeah. That's how they know he's there.
They know he's there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I had. I'm sure you got a couple you want to throw in.
When Paulie busts in right before he shoots Bernie, Larry's like, company. And Richard's like, I didn't see anything. I was looking at my watch. And Larry's
I'm blind. Yeah, that was funny. I didn't see anything. I was looking at
I'm blind.
Right? I'm like, I don't know what happened here. That's
funny. Larry at the beach house. Now, all of this could be yours if you set your goals and work hard. Richard. My old man worked hard. All they did was give him more work. Wait, oh no, I think it's reversed. I think Larry says that.
Larry says that.
Yeah. And then that's when Tawny comes in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tawny.
All they did was give him more work.
Fucked up.
Oh, here we go. Richard, just tell me what is going on. That's when Larry says, look, honey, Bernie's dead. The guys that killed him are now after us. Can we hide out at your place or what?
Yeah, real shit.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm like, I think I got the most of the good ones.
Oh, wait. A little brown nosing, a little ass kissing, work our way up that corporate ladder. Why can't you be a lazy shit like I am?
Yeah, that was the whole line.
Yeah, that is the whole line.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, what's age the best?
What's age the best? Probably nothing.
Beach house party. Ladies in bikini.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. That kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm like,
The
listen,
decadence of the 80s.
I'll tell you right now. If you're like, all right, Dom, you're gonna be a poor guy, but you're gonna have integrity, or you can live like these guys.
You're like, fuck integrity.
Fuck integrity. Yeah, I'm like, I've had integrity long enough.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready for not having any integrity. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Shit.
I'm good.
People in charge got no integrity. Why should I?
Yeah, exactly.
Shit. Like, yeah, I had beach house parties and ladies in bikinis.
Yeah, that's true. Because everything else, like, I don't think they could make this film today.
Oh hell no!
You know, because it is so
it's
desecrating a corpse.
Yeah, I'm like, they would have to change a lot. That wouldn't be the worst part.
That won't stop us from recasting it.
Yeah, absolutely not.
But I don't know if they'd be able to. Excuse me, I don't know if they'd be able to get it.
2000, probably like 14 was the last time we could have got away.
Yeah,
with it.
probably like if they would have done it like right after the
Hangover.
like if Todd Phillips would have been like, I'm going to remake this right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I almost picked him for director too. All right, what's aged the worst?
Well,
a lot has.
Yeah,
I'm putting hits on people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some of the fashion.
Yeah, fashion, cocaine, banging your partner's girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
but embezzling money from
yeah. Oh yeah. That's
I was trying to think of the word embezzling.
Yeah, that's
stealing
really
money,
bad.
but it's embezzling.
There's a lot of not moral things in here.
Yes. Although the people that, or at least the one guy that did it, does get his comeuppance.
He does.
Yeah, so in a way, it's almost a morality play.
It is a morality play. Like, listen, bro, you can't be invincible forever. Basically. Yeah. All right, most rewatchable scenes.
The beginning.
Intro.
Yeah, the intro.
The intro.
Honestly, when they're on the roof too.
That part. That's still intro-y, I guess. No, it's
because that's right after. Yeah.
I had Bernie at the restaurant with the mob.
Yes.
When they go back to Rich's crib after the date. Yep.
Yes, Monroe.
The boat party on the way.
Yes,
on the way, the ferry party on the way to Bernie's house.
Yeah.
Of course, when they first get to Bernie's house and find him.
Yeah.
The party at Bernie's house.
That's like the most important part of the film.
Yeah, I was like, that's one of the best parts.
Yeah.
And it just happens.
Yeah.
I'm like, one dude comes over, and the next thing you know, it's like 100 people there.
Yeah.
Like, Bernie. Everybody fuck with the burn. When they drop Bernie off the side.
Yes.
When Rich falls out the lighthouse.
Yeah.
When Bernie's body floats ashore while they're hooking up.
Oh my God.
When Paulie starts choking Bernie.
Yeah. And poor Paulie, too.
Right.
Paulie He's alive.
Oh, this guy's going crazy. He's like, this motherfucker's invincible.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite parts. When they vacuum the sand off him and staple Gunna's toupee on. These motherfuckers are shot back in the sand off this guy. They're dragging him on the boat, behind the boat.
Yeah.
And then the final scene.
Yeah.
It's like basically the whole film.
Yeah. Because there's like some interstitial stuff in there, but that is basically the whole movie.
Film.
Yeah.
When they were vacuuming the sand off, I started cracking up. I was like, yo, these motherfuckers. All right, best characters. Rich, Larry, and Gwen.
Yeah, because Bernie is definitely...
Bernie is the worst.
Yeah, he has to be.
Best. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. He might have been like the best actor.
I'm like, he's definitely top of the mountain in performance. But that's partially why, though.
Yeah, because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I had Rich, Larry, Gwen. I mean, if you want, you can throw Paulie in there for fun.
Yeah.
Because he is kind of funny. And you do feel bad for him because you're like, this dude's been trying to kill this motherfucker this whole movie. He had to go back to the Hamptons like 4 times.
Yes.
Yeah, worst character's Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie is the worst
guy who's bad.
Yeah.
Nitpicks.
There's probably
this is here's my main nitpick is actually it's not really a nitpick. I said how accurate it is to how oblivious rich people are to the real world.
Yeah,
it's just an observation the movie put that the movie knew what to do with, and it was actually just disturbing to think about.
Well, we're seeing it now.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say
as far
it's
as
a reflection of right now.
Some rich moron just said that like 5 states have gas at $1.99 a gallon, right?
Shit, that's great.
Which 5?
Right?
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Because he doesn't buy gas, so
Yeah, it was last time he bought some gas.
it is. I heard somewhere that these states have whatever. Dude, you don't know.
He's like Alaska, Hawaii,
Antarctica,
Montana,
Zimbabwe.
Wyoming, Zimbabwe, right?
Like, what?
He's like the Gulf of America.
Oh,
oh, that's funny. But yeah, that was my main nitpick. And then of course, like, it's just, some of it's a little overdone, especially the end, but like that's just a criticism more than a nitpick. But it did disturb me how accurate this film still is to how rich people act. I was like, God, this is so bad. But it's true. Like,
I have to agree with you because I never looked at it that way.
Dude, that's the whole time, the whole party scene. I'm like, it just reminds me of like the yuppie culture where these guys don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves. They don't even know people's names. Like,
and it kind of shows then how like Rich and Larry, even though they want to be a part of that yuppie scene, they can't because they're not like
that.
Yeah,
that's not how they grew up. That's not what they know. They're working class guys, really.
Yeah. Monroe. My only real nitpick, I think I already said it, is like, if she's going back to college, it would have already started before Labor Day.
Yeah, probably.
So she wouldn't have worked that last week. She would have been in school that week before Labor Day and still had off on Labor Day.
Or is she going to school locally? So she was like, hey, I can finish out this week.
No, but like she'd still, like, what's her class schedule? Like, you don't know. There's no real clarification there. And that's what upsets me.
It's an 80s movie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not like Soul Man. Like she's like, I got to take my pills so I can get the scholarship in order to get the schooling. Even though, because even in Soul Man, his family was wealthy. But his dad wouldn't pay for him to go to law school.
Oh.
So, anyway, this isn't about Soul Man.
It's not about the soul. It's all good. Recasting couch.
All right.
Bernie.
Oh, there's only one who could play him.
Really?
I'm thinking Robert Downey Jr.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. That's it right there. I was like, if he doesn't pick RDJ, I don't know who else he's going to pick.
Because, dude, he's the
right age. He's got the look down.
He definitely has the
attitude.
Yes.
I was like, he's got all of it.
Yeah.
He would bring so much charisma to him, too, while he's alive.
Yes.
I was like, it's got to be RDJ.
Yeah.
I was like, that's who I had.
Yeah.
Richard, I had your boy, Jack Quaid.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think about Jack Quaid. He would be perfect.
Yeah, who'd you pick?
I picked this guy. He's in Cobra Kai.
Oh, okay. I've never watched that.
He kind of, he's in his early 20s.
His look is there.
And he kind of sounds like Michael Cera.
Okay.
I was thinking Michael Cera.
Dude, I was thinking Michael Cera for Larry.
Believe it or not, I was like, I wish Jonah Hill wasn't like a pretentious asshole now. Because having them reunite.
Super bad, Brad. That's bro. That's what. So for director, I picked Greg Mottola.
Oh, that's great. He's a good director.
Yeah, for that. For Superbad. That's why.
And he did Fletch. I agree with that director.
Yep.
He did the John Hamm Fletch.
That's
and he was great.
Wow.
So you know what? I do like Jack Quaid though.
Yeah, I was like, Jack Quaid would be good.
Oh my god,
that's his type of role too.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Fine, Jack Quaid for Richard.
For Larry, I had a few people, dude.
Okay.
All right. So, have you ever seen Booksmart?
No, I haven't.
All right.
The Olivia Wilde film.
Yep, love her. Well,
she was good in.
Love them.
She was good in House.
Yeah, I'm like, she's good. I was thinking, shit. I was thinking this kid. He was in Booksmart. He's funny as shit. God damn it! Come on, phone. Go ahead and see it. Well, there we go. You ever seen this dude?
Yeah, he's going to be Jimmy Olsen in Superman.
Oh, okay. There you go. Well, there you go. That's what I was singing for Larry.
He's Jimmy Olsen in the new Superman movie.
That's crazy. So I had
Skylar Gizmodo or whatever.
Yep, Skylar Gizmodo.
Yeah.
That's his name. So
wow,
I had him or Tom Holland or Michael Cera.
See, I don't know if Michael Cera has the
like
assholiness. Yeah.
Yeah, that was why he fell in third place.
Like, believe it or not, at one point I was like, Michael Cera and Kieran Culkin is what I was thinking.
God, Kieran Culkin would be great.
Yeah.
He's fucking 41, though.
I know, but he still looks young. If he shaves, he looks young.
Because that dude looked old and he looks young.
Because I love their chemistry from Scott Pilgrim. And I'm like, that would be great.
Because Michael Cera's still young enough.
But then I thought of Michael Longfellow. He's a comedian who is on SNL.
You ever seen him?
He has like the Larry kind of attitude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know who to pick. Larry was the hardest one.
But you know what? Skylar Gizmodo.
He's fucking funny.
Yeah.
He's funny as shit.
And look, he's gonna blow up after Superman.
He is. His time's coming. Either or.
Yeah.
All right, Gwen, who'd you have?
I was thinking she's also in Cobra Kai, Mary Mouser. She's like late 20s.
Okay.
Even though she looks like
young.
a teenager.
I was like, she was young as hell.
Yeah, but she's 29.
17.
Yeah, well, that's why she's in Cobra Kai playing like a teenager.
All right, but like she looks too young.
Well, she doesn't always look that young.
She doesn't always look that young.
Yeah, but you know.
She look young. Like, Gwen looks like an adult.
Gwen does look like an adult, yeah.
I thought that was a teenager. I thought she was 17, 18. I was
look,
like,
she is.
Little kid. And now I saw 29. I was like, damn, you aging beautifully.
Yes.
I'm like, she's aging great.
That's the only one I could think of. But you would.
I had Zendaya.
Mm-hmm. Now.
Zendaya got that attitude.
Can Jack Quaid pull Zendaya?
She like dorky white boys.
That's true. You're right. You're right. And Jack Quaid is like a foot taller.
Yeah, I'm like Jack. She'd be like, oh, he actually's taller than me. Zendaya's 5'10".
Yeah.
So, yeah, she might actually like Jack Quaid's probably like 6'1" or 2" at least.
Yeah, and you know what? I could see that, like those two together.
Or you go if you want to go a little younger and stay a little bit ethnic, you get like Jenna Ortega.
That she'd probably be a little more age appropriate as far as Gwen being in school.
Yeah. But Zendaya looks young too. Everyone's gonna look older. These motherfuckers look like they were approaching 30.
Yeah.
Like, all y'all look old.
Yeah.
All y'all look 20s to me.
And look, Terry Kaiser was like 49.
Yeah, I'm like, he looks like he's closer to 60.
Yeah. He's getting ready. He had an AARP card.
AARP card.
It's like Wilford Brimley.
Yo.
They might as well have gotten Wilford Brimley. If he's the only other person who could have played Bernie.
He said no. They'd be like, dude, some of these great granddaddies out here. Like, he's 54. Insane. You age so quickly. There's a lot of people you could go with. I mean, if you want to go with a white girl,
no. I think honestly, Zendaya and Jack Quaid. I think that's a good
nice
pairing.
Chemistry,
yeah. Because Jack Quaid is. I think he can actually do anything at this point.
Yeah, he's kind of pulled that off now.
I mean, look, he had Randy Quaid as an uncle.
He did.
That's all you got to say.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care about Meg Ryan or Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Randy Quaid was his uncle.
Yep. And Randy Quaid was
cousin Eddie.
I'm like, he was the GOAT in the 80s, bro.
Yeah, but he was
in a lot of
even Independence Day.
Yeah, he was great in that.
Yeah,
cousin Eddie's the GOAT. He said, "Ooh, that flame's bigger than the red one."
Yeah, Shitter's full.
Shitter was full. Merry Christmas. Shitter was full. He said, "Clark, I want you to get yourself something real nice." All right, I'll buy myself a gift.
Yeah.
All right, Paulie, who'd you have?
You know what? I didn't even think about Paulie. Isn't that terrible?
You said Paulie.
And I even said
you picked him, yeah.
I picked him. But I was thinking, like...
He has like a Spanish-y, Mediterranean type of vibe, so...
He kind of does. So, like...
Almost somebody kind of old, but...
Like Antonio Banderas. Is that who you put? Wow.
That's what I put.
That's the only thing that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I was like, Antonio's, he's the right age.
The only person who might be able to pull it off might be a little too old at
John Reno.
No, well, Jean Reno would be great.
He would have been great. He's too old.
I was going to say Armand Assante.
Why do I know him?
Because he's a great actor. He was in Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone. He was in Gotti. He was in Mambo Kings, I think, with Antonio Banderas.
Oh yeah, he's 75.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's too old, but
he would have been good.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
He definitely would have been good.
Yeah, Armand Assante is actually just incredible.
He wasn't Gotti. Yeah, he was in the Mambo Kings. Yeah.
Wow. And the Odyssey, I think he was in. He played Odysseus.
He was in 2 for the Money.
Yeah, but he would have been great.
American Gangster. He's in a lot of shit. He was in Striptease.
Oh my!
Starring Deme.
That's right. Where you don't get to see anything.
You
get to see more of her in the Substance. Yeah,
so you might as well watch Substance.
Yeah. But
all of her in the sub.
But yeah, Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, that's who I had.
That makes the most sense.
It does. All right, director.
I think you're right.
I said Greg Mottola. Yep.
Yeah, because I was trying to think of I was thinking of Ted Kotcheff being older at the time, but I couldn't quite because I'd mentioned Todd Phillips earlier.
That was my second.
But it's kind of it would have to be an older Todd Phillips or a younger, I should say, younger Todd Phillips. So yeah, old school, Starsky and Hutch, Hangover era, not Joker,
because he's dark right now.
Yeah,
he's looking to get into the light though.
Yeah.
He's all right, I'm done enough of that dark show. Let's get funny again.
Yeah, he's all right. Joaquin Phoenix is Bernie.
Yeah. Hey, this would be a bad Bernie.
Yeah, he would actually kill it.
He would kill it.
Oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
Oh. Then he'd have to be Paulie.
Chill. He might be
a really good Paulie.
He'd be a good Paulie. You said that.
I was thinking because
or maybe Pedro Pascal.
I was thinking he might be a good Bernie.
Pedro?
Yeah.
He would be a good Bernie.
Because he has the mustache already.
Mustache, yeah.
Because, see, I was thinking if you do it if you want to do, I hate to say ethnic because that sounds terrible, but the dude who does the voice of Miles Morales could be Richard.
Moore?
Yeah, Shameik Moore could be Richard. And
Keith?
And I love... Well, yeah, I was thinking Bowen Yang could be Larry.
Oh, you love Bowen Yang.
I love Bowen Yang.
That is your boy.
Now Bowen Yang will
gotta play it straight.
Well,
though.
I was gonna say it would never be. He'll never be straight.
Yeah,
so
he ain't gonna play it straight.
So you'd have to tweak the story a little bit.
You have to be gay and you have to be for a modern age. It'd be kind of funny.
But he could be Richard's gay wingman.
Gay homo. Yeah. That could definitely work.
You know, that's what I was thinking. For a different kind of thing, or have it be Weekend at Diddy's.
Oh my god! My god!
So
that's a weekend to forget.
Yeah, or have them be interns in DC. Weekend at Bernie's. Have it be Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders.
And you have to. It's when they were reading that stupid bill last week over the weekend.
The great big beautiful.
It's a big bill is still a big bill that we have to pay for.
We gotta pay it. Yeah.
So I was thinking of different concepts to update it.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny. I like that. All right. Unanswerable questions. Do they stay together?
Yeah. Do they stay together? What happens to Larry after the weekend?
Yeah. Does Larry just stuff it out at Bernie's?
Does Larry take that money from the briefcase?
I would.
Because, see, there is a Weekend at Bernie's, too, but it's so terrible, I'd rather not think about it.
Let's not think about it.
So it's kind of what? Yeah, do Richard and Gwen make it? Because she's going to school. He's obviously out of school, so they're going to spend months apart. Even if they see each other on the weekends, that's still weeks of her being around other studs.
What school is she going to, though? They never say. Is she local?
It's got to be an Ivy League school because her parents, her dad went to Harvard.
Yeah, could be. She could be a legacy.
Yeah, because she
going to Harvard. I mean, that's far from New York, but not that far.
Because she already, would have the in.
Yeah, she's legacy. So, what is New York from Boston? 5 hours, 5.5?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you can take that drive here and there.
Yeah, even a train ride. Yeah.
Might even be faster.
Yeah. Yeah, depending on traffic, it probably is.
Trains don't deal with traffic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially once they're done with their stops, they're going. All right. Prop you want from the movie. Bernie's house.
The whole house. The whole house.
The whole fucking house.
The whole house.
They furnish everything in it.
I want his Porsche.
I'll take that too.
Yeah.
I want the fucking house.
And not the go-kart Porsche.
No, I want the real
actual
one.
Porsche.
The real one.
Or the Maserati that he was buying.
That he was going to buy. Yeah. That might even be better.
Yeah. Jet Black.
Jet Black, baby.
Yeah, he's fucking Bruce Wayne. Does it come in black?
Does it come in black, right? You think Christopher Nolan was watching Weekend?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Bernie Begins.
Yeah, Bernie Begins. I'm about to email Christopher Nolan. I got a movie idea for you. I'm like, I know what you were thinking. I know. Like, you was watching Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes.
You heard Bernie ask about the Mize. And he's going to be like, who you been talking to? I'm like, oh, I knew it, Chris. I just figured it out. I'm like, come on, Bernie Begins, dude. Let's do it.
We have to.
Film, bro. 45 minutes.
It's all it has to be.
Yep, that'd be hilarious, bro. That's funny. He starts out giving free mustache rides in the mailroom.
That's how
works his way up.
That's how he has to do it.
So he has to do it. Now he's spelunking.
Yeah.
So.
From glory holes to cave diving.
Yep. All right, so we got to put a grade on it.
And you know what? I would always give this an A, but I know you're shaking your head.
Oh, I'm not shaking my head. I know you're going to give it an A.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, because I just love this movie.
Yeah, and
it's nostalgia.
Bro. Yes. Dude, there's movies I give a great grade to that I know other people wouldn't. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Did you grade this on Letterboxd?
Yeah, I gave it a 3.5 out of 4 stars.
Oh, really?
And I'm going to give this an 84%.
Wow.
So I had a good time with it. I was laughing, especially in the middle part of it.
Oh yeah, that's
the meat of it is very funny.
Yeah.
Good. So I was definitely having a good time.
And for a director that's not really a comedy director, he did a great job.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. He did fucking First Blood. He ain't funny at all.
Yeah.
I was like, so he did a good job with this. I was proud of him. It's a good time capsule piece. This is a good one to throw on if you have an 80s night. You could pair this with a bunch of I would pair this with like License to Drive.
Oh, yeah, which you love.
Love that film.
Yes,
I would pair this with something like that. And, maybe some other goofy shit out the 80s. Some fucking...
That's the only way this film could have been better if it would have been Corey Haim and Corey Feldman.
Oh, my God.
Those two together?
Great.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Corey Haim really stepped it up in License to Drive.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like, hey, this is his movie.
Yeah, because, in The Lost Boys, you had, like, Jason Patrick brooding.
There was a
and
bunch
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, Jason Patrick was hot then. Bitches liked him and shit. Yeah. And Kiefer, Kiefer.
Yeah.
So he kind of... Corey's like, I deal with this motherfucker Kiefer all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, shit, didn't we just do Stand By Me, bro? Get on my face. But he got overshadowed for sure by a bunch of rising stars there. So, and then, of course, you got my girl in there playing the mom. Diane Wiest.
Yeah.
Love her.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
She
was great in Parenthood.
Dude, she's a legend. She's a legend. She was, man, she looking a little old now. Back in the day, she was a baddie too, bro. Like, if you watch Hannah and Her Sisters.
Oh, yeah.
All the old Woody Allen movies, she's good in. Yeah, so next week, we're...
either Night of the Comet
or Superman.
Or Superman review.
Whatever comes out, y'all, that's what y'all gonna get. One of them two.
Yeah.
So gear up, watch Night of the Comet just in case, and then go see Superman on Thursday then.
Yeah.
So you got to do both. All right, guys, I'm Dom.
I am Jamie.
That's the Cutting Room Floor.